You are now with Demigod.
If season is coming up,
Of the show?
and I never watched not one episode. I have never watched a Kardashian.
Who's keeping the show going?
I don't want to keep up with it. No, mad people watch that shit.
Definitely,
Mad people.
niggas
watch
would
that
just be
shit.
hoping Kanye's in it.
That show's popular. They just signed a new deal with Hulu.
Yeah,
They left E.
What do they
Disney
do?
Plus too.
It's on
UK.
Disney Plus?
Disney Plus UK. They have it.
Really?
Yeah,
What do they do?
on the show.
I guess
it's a reality
Life.
show. They just.
Own each other.
Are they
Reality?
dramatic like that or not really? Like
I know they got into a fight. I watched that fight when
when they slapped each
who
other.
for who?
It's interesting. in
not
their
Chloe,
lives, man.
Courtney and Kim fought.
Fist fight?
The small one. I think
They, like,
it was,
slapped
like,
each
they
other.
tried
Look
to,
at us
like,
starting off.
Yeah, with the
Look,
hair
look at how
behind the
salacious
shit.
we're starting off the podcast. We haven't been here in a while. We turned into the
Kardashian.
fucking shade room.
Kardashian, yo, they are wild.
Oh, we lost touch with our roots.
yeah,
Nah, we don't do shade room.
No,
It's
that's
not
funny.
recording, is it?
we are recording.
Oh shit.
We on the air, right, Jace?
They gonna hear, they
Yeah.
gonna hear me asking about
We
gossip.
live.
We live,
Look,
baby.
fuck it.
Can you hear my apple on the pod? About to stop eating this apple? Can I finish it?
That's
pretty-
ASMR
that's a
right
good
there.
question.
I'll turn your
People
mic.
pay for that.
Yeah. I do hear that shit. I just noticed it. I'll turn your
Yo,
mic
not
down
for
for a little
real.
bit. Go ahead. You're good. Your mic's down.
Go crazy. Go crazy for a little bit. That's fucking hilarious, bro. Nah, but that show, that shit been on the air for that long because mad people watch that shit.
Yeah,
But
20
mad people-
seasons.
Mad people are into like trashy TV like that though. Bro. Think about it.
I think the best.
Think about how
TV
long
show,
Love and Hip Hop been on.
That's Flavor Flav.
No, Love and Hip Hop is.
Yo, I liked that show.
That was
Nah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah,
show
yeah.
ever done.
Nah,
Flavor Flav.
I ain't gonna front. Reality TV in like 20, not even 20, like 2007, 2008.
Yo, the best.
The
The
best.
best.
Do
Absolutely.
you remember the show Parental Control?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, that show, it was so fake, but it would just be hilarious to see like the girlfriend, boyfriend sitting in the room with the parents.
And the dad getting mad.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get
What's
rid of you,
another
jerk,
show?
all right?
That's
You're gonna
my
be out
daughter.
here.
They gotta
I
be-
told you this guy was no good for you.
What's
Like,
another show that you guys remember from back then?
that
was-
next.
Pick
That was
My
good?
Ride
Yeah.
was different. Next.
Next.
When they get on the bus,
Yeah.
like, oh, she came back. Oh,
Word.
like if you don't come back in that bus, you won.
Sometimes they would get off and shoot his man and be like, next.
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 People like-
These niggas was pimping.
Yo, Silent Library was good.
Yeah.
That was like a little bit
Or-
later, but that was a good one.
Yeah, I remember.
That's
Silent-
on a streaming network now. I watched it recently. It's
Really?
on Paramount.
That's crazy. You never miss. You probably never miss a next episode. You can really remember next.
Bro, for real.
Am I live?
That was
my
live.
great.
I'm live.
my upstairs neighbor, who went to Bully P at the time when I lived in Helden, he was on an episode of Room Raiders.
Okay. I know
And like
you're
I was fucking at prep school and I'm watching the shit. And I was like, that dude lives upstairs from me. Everybody was like, imagine. I'm like, no, dead ass. And I had to like go on Instagram. I was like, look, like this nigga really lives upstairs. He was just randomly on episode.
What's room raiders like when it's dirty?
Hmm?
The room raiders when you go to the apartment and be
Yeah,
mad
when
dirty.
it was dirty, they
Yeah.
had to like expose you.
Apartment and I think like check it out and then they go on a date.
But he was from like San
Yes,
Francisco.
it was like the opposite. The opposite.
yeah.
Oh,
He was from Cali, so the recording was before he moved to Jersey.
Wasn't there like
And-
a episode of people dancing?
Oh, so you would go through someone's room before you dated
Yeah,
them.
like so
Yeah.
you would never meet them. So if a girl was interested in you, and the show was running, she would come to your house, right? She would look through your stuff. They would like take the pictures of you and stuff out, I think, so they didn't see like visually, could see
Okay.
what you look like. But if it was like a sibling or something, they would leave that in there, a picture of a family member, whatever. And then she would only be able to go through your room and base how much she likes you off your room. So she'd be like, oh, like I can see he's into sneakers, like he has some nice clothes. And then she'll go through like your drawer. She'll be like, whoa, like he has whatever book in here. Like this might be a red flag, you know? Like, so she's literally basing it off of just your shit.
you think that's feasible?
I mean, I think the premise was pretty cool.
I'm saying, but like, you think that would really work in real? Like, if you were trying to base
Yeah.
who you should date by what's in their room?
Nah.
I agree because what's in your room is like majority of who you are. Or like you get me with somebody clothes and you kind of know how that person dressed. And if they have books or if they have like little utilities, like you kind of know, like a person have a basketball. Oh, he like ball.
Because I'm be tight.
It's like a bio.
If I go through a girl room, right, and she has like all the stuff that I'm like into, and then I meet her and she looks like me, I'm like, all right. Like, maybe I made the wrong choice.
Yo, chill.
Nah, but they have like shit like that. Now, there's a show I watched on Netflix. It was called The Circle. And
Tough.
That was tough.
you watched that, right? That was pretty cool.
That was tough.
You had the choice to pretend to be someone else or go in as yourself.
tough.
And then it was
was
like they were
different.
talking to each other. That we're gonna break down that what's the name show one
We
day.
got to
I
break
need
down
to-
the whole show.
the
Circle.
The Circle and the other shit. That shit was stupid though. The Ultimatum.
Let's do
I don't know
that
if you
next
watched
two
that.
episodes. Let's do like show
Ultimatum, I never
breakdowns.
heard
We could
of
do that.
one.
What's the ultimatum?
The Ultimatum is it's a show that a couple comes on to together,
Mhm.
and one person brought the other person in because they gave them an ultimatum. Either they're going to marry them or they're going to break up. Which, in my whole argument for this fucking shit to begin with, if you have to give someone the ultimatum to marry you, you shouldn't marry that person, regardless. Like
I agree.
they don't really want to marry you,
Yeah, I agree.
or the time isn't right. And in that case, then you're being selfish, you know. But either way,
Hold on, I want to say that real quick.
yeah,
I still think it's fair for women to be upfront about it, like at a certain extent, because I think men have the ability to wait it out longer,
yeah,
and you should not waste a woman's time
yeah.
if you're not gonna marry her,
Uh,
because you should allow her to
100%.
be free and go find somebody else.
100%.
Yeah.
But some of all right, let me finish explaining before I give my point.
Yeah.
So for some of the couples, the girl gave the ultimatum. There was like two couples where the guy gave the ultimatum to the girl, and the ages on the show was the thing that was ridiculous. Most of the girls were like 23, 24. Most of the guys were like, I think the older guy was like 32, and the youngest guy was like 23 or 24.
Mhm.
And I'm like, bro, some of these relationships, it would be like, oh, dating for 2.5 years, 1.5 years, 1 year, 6 years. And I'm like, no one here is in like a 9-year relationship where it's
But
like, all right, what are we doing?
See, but that's the thing though. Like,
Oh, wait.
Uh-huh.
And the twist of it is if you agree to enter the show, you get to like talk to your couple and everything like for like a day or two or some shit like that. And then they mix and mingle everybody. So if you guys came here together and we came here together, then we'd go to like a mixer and like meet a bunch of people. And then one person would be like, oh, I met this guy named Chris. Like, I want to like, you have to live with them for 3 weeks. So you have to date a new person
It's
essentially
pretty crazy.
who is still someone else's either fiance
nah,
or
we're not
whatever.
doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Now you lost me.
so there was some
Yeah.
people on the show that like fucked somebody else while they was like
Yeah,
in the
that's
3
not
weeks.
happening. That's what's gonna
There's
happen.
one girl, she waited till the last night to fuck the dude that she was with, and she was going back to like her fiance like the next day. I'm like, that's wild.
Yeah.
This
It
one
can't be real.
this one girl, her whole thing was like she didn't want to have kids.
Mhm.
So the guy didn't want to marry her because he wanted to have a family.
Mhm.
And then she's like, yeah, like I just don't know if I can do that, whatever. And then like they were arguing about it the first day, and it's like all like heartfelt and like he's like crying. He's like how he wants a family and shit. And I'm like, oh, like I can feel this.
Mhm.
And then the next day, she's doing like the mix and mingle thing. She's sitting at the pool. She's talking to some guy, and like she's like in her talking head. She's like, oh, like he's so attractive, like he seems cool. And he's like, oh, you want kids? And she's like, with the right person. So I'm like, then you don't want to be with the person you came here with. What do you mean with the right person? Like if this is a person that you're trying to spend the rest of your life with,
Yeah.
and you telling him you don't want kids, and you're telling somebody else with the right person that have kids, then that's literally saying you don't want to be with this person.
But you know what's funny? You know, we like people be like, "Oh, reality TV's not real." It's like it's so messy. It's like life actually is that messy.
Mhm.
Like
Life is messy.
like all those stories sounds like probably things people actually just go through like on a day-to-day
His
basis.
life
Facts.
is crazy.
But I would, yeah, that show is nuts. You wouldn't find me on
Yeah,
that.
I'm good on that.
show.
I'm not trying to watch that.
Yeah.
That show is too crazy for me. I just heard the bio. This is too crazy.
Now, I want to watch it. I want to see it, but like
It's-
the whole
It's too
trade your
crazy.
fiance for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that
That's
shit was
tough.
nuts.
You're gonna let someone.
'Cause
You're gonna let someone else. You can't. I don't know. I feel like the percentages of something like you just said happening. It's gonna happen once or twice. Where it's like, bro, you can't leave people 3 weeks together in an intimate environment for
nuts.
3 weeks with something. Cause that's insane.
Mhm.
That's-
Bro, there was like what and this you're gonna be weak at this one part in the show. There's a girl on the show, like a white girl, right? So
Mhm.
she's like She looks like just like a regular white girl, and she likes this guy, right? And he's the guy that gave his girl the ultimatum. So she was like blown away by that. She was like, "Oh my god! Like I gave my boyfriend the ultimatum. He gave his girl the ultimatum. You know, maybe we can live together for 3 weeks, and you know, see like explore this thing or whatever." So they have a conversation, right? And she was like kind of like shallow, and like her reasoning behind like wanting to be, she was like, "I just want to be a wife." Like she was like, "I deserve it." Like there was nothing like no real like compelling reason why she wanted to like be in a relationship. I mean, be married or whatever.
Yeah.
So when she was talking to the guy, like the guy was like, he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "You seem pretty cool." And like the next day she talks to him, she was like, "I think I'm gonna choose you, like to live with for 3 weeks." And like he like was like, he's like, "We should talk later." So when they were talking later, he was like, "I'm be honest," he was like, "You know, I gave my girl the ultimatum," and he's like, "If I'm gonna be here, like, and I'm gonna experience this whole situation," he was like, "I want to be with somebody who like I could possibly come out on the other side with or whatever." And he's like, "You're cool," but he's like, "I don't want to like waste our time," because he was like, "I'm just like," he's like, "I'm not necessarily like attracted to you." And she was like, "What?" She was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" She was like, "What's really the reason?" And he was like, "I'm serious." He's like, I'm just not attracted to you." She was like, "Oh my god, this guy's like such a fucking dick. Da-da-da. He told me I wasn't attractive." She was like, "There's other ways to say it and shit like that." He was like, "I didn't say you weren't attractive." He's like, "I said I wasn't attracted to you." And like at the end, like the end episode, when he was like about to pick who he wanted to go with and stuff, that girl, she left the show early. So she came back and she was like she stood up like when he was about to shoot, and she was like, "I'm be honest, he should leave by himself. He's so fucking rude." And everybody else in the show, like all the other girls that had interaction with him, was like stood up. He was like, "You're just upset because I didn't think you were attractive." And Shorty's whole premise behind this nigga now was like he was a bad dude. That shit was mad funny though. She couldn't believe it.
It's like
she said, "There's no way."
It's like next.
She was like, "There's no way that's not why you like me." And he was like, he's like, "I just like you're cool. Like I just don't find you." She like flipped the switch. She was mad as hell. But I've seen that happen before. Like people can't fathom the fact that other people don't find them desirable.
Mm.
Like I don't know what that's just pure insecurity.
That's
Like,
girls.
yeah.
Girls are like that.
Anyway, before we get into the real topics today, we are back, man. We ain't been here in like a month, man.
Yeah, we back in the studio.
Yeah,
today,
we've been on
you
the
know what I'm
roads,
saying,
man.
right?
We've been going up on YouTube and shit like that. We've been real busy. So I hope you guys been keeping up with the extra content. Now we back here. We get to sit down, with some good people again. Back here on another recording day. Welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. It's your boy Asante Daya, aka Demigod, and we here with a very special guest and my co-host today.
Welcome back to another episode of Demigod Chronicles. My name is Christian Lopez. We're gonna have a great episode. Got a very special guest, like Asante said. I haven't stopped laughing since he came in the building. So I know this is gonna be a fun episode, man. You want to introduce yourself, Brody?
It's Nilo gone wild, man. Like there's nothing more to say than this, man. Let's just tap in, man.
We got my boy Nilo in the building here today. I met Nilo a few years ago through my brother Steven, and
Steven is great.
Yo,
yeah, he's great.
Like Nilo, like you meet people that's just like a ball of energy, and that's Nilo, bro. If you feel bad and he come around, like he gonna make sure you feel me and you feeling up. So I always fuck to him for that. He's just
you know what it is, and one thing I can say, like just living and being alive is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, people take that so for granted. Like I wake up, I can have 1,000 problems or a lot of thoughts in my head. But like, control what you can control. And that's like one of my things that I always like put out to people. Like, you have so much energy. It's like, yeah, but I also have a concept and understanding in myself that you don't know who can be here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
And, so I just love life, man. I just love it. And I just try to be positive at all times. Man.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
That's how you gotta be. And it's funny because I remember, we don't gotta get too much into detail, but there was like a point in my life where I was definitely experiencing something and you were experiencing something heavy, with your family. And I just remember having a conversation with you. It was like me, you, and Steve was talking. And with everything that you're still going through, bro, like you was just talking about like everything was like the upside of it, like the positive things. And I was like, from there, I was like, not only are you funny, bro, but you really could be on some like motivational shit because like it's not a facade for you. Like you don't Like I hate the people that fucking be in their car. They got on Instagram like, get up, go work. Like, but like that's his
easier said
energy.
than done sometimes.
Yeah, like that's your energy.
People
Like,
oh, I can just get up. You don't know what a person got in their mind, how their mental health. You just don't know. Everybody's so different.
Mhm.
You get me? It's us inside here, and we like, oh, I can do it. You can do it. Everybody has a different mindset, different capability, a different capacity.
yeah.
You know, and that's one thing that I tell people is like, don't judge others until you judge yourself and understand yourself. Because
Word.
once you start understanding yourself, you'll start understanding how different you are to others.
Mhm.
And people like fail to acknowledge that sometimes. And it's crazy, just life experiences and like it's life, bro. It's beautiful. Like we were talking about, life is messy.
Yeah.
Life is like we were talking about that TV show and everything.
Yeah.
Life is really messy. Besides relationship, like if you sit back, like, yo, this happened like 2 years ago. This happened too. Like it's crazy, man.
We all experienced the pandemic together. Like that was a shared trauma that we all have. You feel me? Like certain people don't even realize that the way they operate like around certain things now is like it just comes with that. Even all of you talked about it before. You was like, what's going on with the world? Like, it's just mad wild shit happened. Fucking all these mass shootings and shit now. Like I think we had a conversation about it before, and the numbers for mass shooting is like crazy. Like the reports this year is
It
crazy.
definitely went up.
But I think the classification for mass shooting also is like if there's like a shooting in a residential area and multiple people get hit, they count that as a mass shooting as well. So I think the numbers are skewed. It's not just people walking
Yeah,
into
absolutely.
places and just shooting unarmed people, but just even that happening more than once, like that's fucking nuts. Like
Yeah.
the shit that just happened in Buffalo, you know, God rest, you know, everybody's soul, that prayers to all the families and stuff. But like shit like that's happening. Like it's kind of hard to keep a positive outlook on the world. So it's good to be able to have people around you that you could like just necessarily enjoy. Like I know if I get on Instagram and I watch your story, like I'm a fucking laugh. You feel me? You always doing something positive. You're talking about before, you know, working with the kids and like teaching and coaching and stuff like that. So, you know, just share a little bit about like your experience with that. Like how does that improve like your day to day? Like what made you want to like step into that after you like were done with sports yourself?
Honestly, it's just being around them. Like being around kids, like I'm a teacher and just being around them, just loving the game as well. Cause now I'm, you know, we spoke, I'm a coach and everything. I do flag football and I do basketball. And I just love being around these kids because sometimes they uplift you.
Yeah.
Like you could be having a thousand things in your mind, but the second that you see them, they want to joke with you. They want you around. People don't understand the importance of having the feeling of people wanting you around. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. And some people don't give you credit that you deserve for who you are. But sometimes these kids, my kids, like when I go to practice, no best. What's up? How you doing?
Yeah.
You get me? And if I miss a practice, why wasn't you at practice yesterday? Like you're tripping. It's like your my fault. You know, I got responsibility. Now you can't miss another one.
Yeah.
Like you start to start having love for them. Like, like it's like they become my own kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, would I continue? I think I will continue forever to coach kids in any sport if I have that possibility, because I might not be the most talented or skill-wise coach, but like, you know how everybody is put here for a world? I feel like I'm here for a reason, but at the same time, I feel like that's one of the ways that I can help others in a simpler way and doing what I love to do. Like I love coaching. Like you put me on the court, I'm running plays. I want to pressure. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do that. You get me? So it's like, I love the game. And I know once this is over, yo, they ask you questions. Like kids ask you questions about relationships to the point that they ask me questions about relationships. And I'm starting to be like, wow, like I can actually tell them a few things that's going on because I've been through it and I can just see it. Like, yo, it's so
coaching.
like it's like a deja vu and about sports, about family coming, watching me play, relationship. Like people like fail to acknowledge like sport is one of the dopest and the coolest things out. But people don't understand that it's not about how skill-wise you are at all times. Because at the same time, like it's also psychology. That's what they got psychology therapy for sports athlete, because if you're an athlete and you stress, what happened? Is your performance up there?
No, you can't focus on
like
what
mental
you
health is very big. All this is so important. And I honestly, like, I feel like I changed a lot of kids' life in so many ways lately that I feel like, yo, I don't even know why I became the flag football coach. You get me? One of the coaches just said, come by.
Yeah.
Come by and let's see what we can do. I came by. Guess what happened? The girls' flag football team are my favorite team compared to boys basketball. Girl, they're just so dope, man. Just different emotions, understanding them. Because I really took it because I'm a trainer.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to see, like I train guys, but I never train girls, if that make any sense. Like I want to see how a girl accelerate, how she decelerate, how she pivot, how she'll go, how their injury rates, how is it? And I now start looking at it, it's like, yo, it's completely different for guys and girls. You get me? So me being involved, trying to go into that concept, I got way more out of that. I got like about 40 girls in that team. Those 40 of my daughters to me.
Yeah.
Like they call me or something, and it's just like, what happened? You all right? There's no, what happened? Let's talk it out. What do you need me for? It's something. You grow a love for the people. And, and sometimes when you're a coach and you fall in love with your player as like a human way, the team is better. You guys got chemistry. When you start like, yo, I love that person. I appreciate that person.
So it gives a sense of purpose.
I'm going hard for you. You get me? Like I love my kids so much. I'm like, yo, you want to be state champs? You want to try this? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. You put effort, I put effort. Just something that you just don't know what can accumulate from that. It's a beauty, man. But you never know what I'll be coaching next in the future. I just love it. I feel like I'm very talented. I'm skill-wise in so many things in my fields because I know sports. Not just I know sports, I know how people think. I know like science.
Yeah.
I know like I can sit back and see who's faster than who and how. If you give me like any sport, you give me like a video like, oh, that was last game. Can you stop him? Can you do this? I'm very good as a visual person.
Yeah.
If that make any sense.
No, that makes sense. Definitely. You're strategic.
There's always a way. There's always a way that like this. It's like a maze. Like you just don't know where it's going. Yeah, man. It's a whole roller coaster with all of this, man. And let's just go and see where it go and take us.
Absolutely. The thing about that too is like when you have something that you're doing and it's like it's people that give you a sense of purpose and fulfillment in what you're doing. So like as we're putting out this podcast, you feel me? If we were putting out a podcast every week to deaf ears, like it would be cool that we're still doing this. It's something that we enjoy. But like being someone coming up to Chris, be like, yo, I listen to the pod, like that shit is dope. Like keep doing what y'all doing. Like, yo, I saw this, like that's dope. Like you don't necessarily need props, but just understanding that you become a part of someone's drive. Or you understanding that a kid might be like, yo, I fucking hate going to school, but I know like if I go to school, I could play sports, and if I go to sports practice, I could see Coach Lopez.
Or
and
second period.
You feel me?
Second or third period, I can just pass by.
Exactly.
It's
You feel
like
me?
that,
So
man.
you understanding that you can become a part of like a kid's day-to-day life, and like
it keeps you motivated.
Exactly. It's a shoulder to lean on, because then you realize that you're not just doing it for yourself, that you have to get right for other people too. You feel me?
And it's sorry to cut you off. It's like this gym teacher. He been there since like past me, but like when I was there, he was like Tails. And Mr. Tails, I think he's between 60 to 70 years old. Like he's out there. And I was like, you don't think about retirement? What is it? I can't be home all day. Like I come here, you guys make me feel young because I have to move around.
Yeah.
He said, now imagine me, because he was the football coach. He does this, now he doing other sports. He's like, imagine I didn't have all this stuff. Like I retire, I don't know how my life is gonna be because I can't be home all day. Yeah. Yo, these kids, they give life.
It's funny, like not just a side note, like young older people, they got like this. Some people have like a fear of retirement. I'm like, for what? It's not like you retire and you just sit home all day and do absolutely nothing. It's like, no, you could do other things besides just this one thing. Like you don't got just a side note. Like you don't got.
That's true though.
You don't got anything else you want to do with your life. I'll just be thinking sometimes about some people are just so scared to retire. Like if I could leave, like when I retire from corporate America, bro, like I could think of a million things I would start to do. Like, but I don't know. It's weird how some people are scared of it. Like I don't know why people think you retire and you sit at home all day and watch TV and just do nothing. Like I don't know. I don't
you know
think
what it is
that way.
Like, it's like the feeling of there's a possibility that you can fail. when you feel that you have a possibility of that you can fail, it's like humankind to not wanting to do it because
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
if this doesn't work out, it's gonna hurt me. It's gonna hurt my ego. It's gonna bother me, and people don't understand. Like ego kills.
You know, it's interesting because like I think that's what everyone's so different. Because I think some people they see like risk and they get excited by it. Like
Yeah,
it's
there's
like,
a lot of people.
oh, I could fail, but like, yo, if I get this, it'll be so much better than if I fail. But then some people are, you know, it's like, oh my God, if I fail, I just can't do it. So,
Yeah.
It's crazy how the human mind is.
yeah.
I also think too, a part of that fear, Chris, might comes from like you know outside of the work that you have to do to make a living,
Yeah.
that you have passion, right?
Yeah.
For some people, they might have not had like interests and they might have fell in love with their work for 30, 40 years. So now like I go from this to what, you know? And
Yeah.
the fear is picking up a new hobby and running the risk of like, do I like this? Do I like fishing?
Yeah.
Do I want to start
Yeah.
working on like model cars? Like, what do I want to do?
Yeah, but even
But-
because even like those same time, like this, like I love what I do for work as
Mhm.
well. But I feel like just us as human beings, like this, I don't know. Yeah, everyone's different. Like I'm very open to experiences. That's just something about my personality. So like I am very open. Like I love a lot of things. I find beauty in a lot of things. And some people might be very narrow. Like maybe this
Exactly.
one, like me, I find it beautiful just hanging out with like my goddaughter or something like that. Like I wish I could do certain things with my goddaughter that I know I can't do because I have these other obligations. And if I could free myself from those obligations, like when I started having kids, I was like, I got 5 kids. Like I would find it amazing to homeschool my kids.
Yeah.
Like that's something to me. And I'm like, yo, that's so beautiful. That'd be so much fun.
And me knowing you could do it.
I do a
And
great
not
job.
everybody can homeschool their kids. But I
I
think
was
you're doing a good job
what
at it.
we going for history class? We going to the museum.
I-
For Spanish, we going to DR to learn Spanish. We gonna go crazy.
Yeah, he going versatile.
I always wondered this, right? Because my dad, like he was always like that, like in the summertime, like you know how my fucking father is.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna give us something to read. Like there was one summer where he made me and my brother like watch the Amistad, and then like we had to read like this fucking pamphlet on it,
Yeah.
and then we had to like give him like a brief report, like a page, like you need
Yeah.
us to type up. My dad would always do stuff like that, and I could have fully seen my dad like homeschooling us.
Yeah.
But do you think, like, as a kid, both of you, even you, Jace, like, if you were homeschooled, right, growing up,
Yeah.
your personality itself would have been different? How do you feel like it would have, like, because you just wouldn't be the same person you are today. Like, all
Yeah.
your experiences and everything that you've been through,
Yeah.
like, made you.
absolutely.
So, like,
Yeah.
how do you do that and make sure your kids get the quality learning,
Yeah.
but you also make sure that they get the same, like, childhood experiences,
I think
like
to no sports.
you get.
Sports.
sports?
I think
Rolling
sports.
them.
Okay.
Sports. I think sports are a great way.
Mhm.
Doing like, and if it's not necessarily sports, then maybe like put them in dancing. If it's not dancing, then like
Yeah.
put them in a band. You have to put kids in social environment. They
Environments.
have to become socialized. You know,
Yeah.
that's just part of
Because
society.
if not, they're gonna be like. Just
So if school
awkward.
forces you, school's like a forced way
Yeah.
to become socialized. Because even some kids, they go to school, but then after school, they go back home and they don't leave the house again. So but school is like a forced socialization. So they're gonna be removed from that. You gotta then intentionally give them ways to be socialized.
Word.
And I think with social media now, it's probably easier than ever.
Social media is dangerous.
It's dangerous, but you know, you could be an adult, and you know, same
'Cause-
way when we were kids, we had parental locks
Yeah.
on certain television TVs and stuff we couldn't watch.
And now-
When
Yeah,
when
it's
you're
crazy.
older, you're gonna have to do the same thing for your kids with social media.
That's
like,
right.
Block this account, go on their social media, block all the accounts you don't want them to see. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know?
Like, and I still want you to answer the question too, but I do think that's funny because when you're saying like it's school's forced. When we were younger, like you know, you have extracurricular shit. That's what they say.
Yeah.
It's optional
Yeah.
or whatever. Like us hanging out in school, like it was like a non-negotiable that we were gonna see our friends like after school. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was like, nah, we're going to see our friends after school. I remember last year, like when my niece was getting out of school, like she was sad. She was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get to see them till September." I'm just like, she's 10. I remember being 10. I'm like, I know I'm gonna see Jace in the
Right
summer.
after this, yeah,
Like, I know I'm
yeah.
gonna see Mo. Like it
Yeah.
didn't even cross my like
Yeah.
these kids don't do the like, oh, like can we orchestrate for all our parents to drop us off here and like we'll be like they just don't do that. Like
And Hackensack got hella parks, so like
OD.
you would think, well,
You
are they
just
at
be
the
outside.
age? Where how old is Adriana?
She's 10.
See, feel like I don't know. I feel like no, I was 12 when I was just like,
it's the gen. I just think it's
Nah.
generation. Like,
yeah,
the
when you were
generation
like
is
10,
different.
11, 12, you didn't need your parents to go meet you at the park. It's like, yo, guys, take your bikes. We'll meet at the park.
Yeah.
Or like, guys, yo,
Yeah.
we're gonna walk to this park.
Yeah.
Send it. You know, like I
That's
don't know.
crazy.
The kids don't do that no more.
Nah. Not from what I see. I don't know about if you guys have any 10, 12-year-olds around
Yeah, I
you,
don't
but
know.
I feel
know I
like
did when I was a
everything
kid.
changes and
Fifth
everything
grade.
is like different like views. Like for
Mhm.
example, like with that question that you said, I think I would like to be homeschooled, but one, the social environment
Yeah.
being in it was dope. Like
yeah.
people like, oh, I don't want like I see kids, oh, I don't want to go to school, this and that. I didn't miss a day.
I will-
I wanted to see what was
I
happening.
will say with the homeschooling, I would send them to high school.
Yeah,
They need that
definitely
social.
agree.
You need
yeah,
high
they
school.
need that, bro.
You need high school, bro.
I didn't miss a day of
I
school.
like that.
You need high
I
school.
didn't miss, and not just that.
Being
but, like-
homeschooled and then you go to prom. It's like, who the fuck is this nigga? That Tuck's hard, nigga, but I don't see you all
like,
year.
who are you?
Nah, you can't skip out. I think high school, like,
Yeah, you
I think
can't,
as an
you
parent,
can't.
I don't think you could recreate the socialization at high school. Like,
And
that's a different
and
environment.
not just
yeah.
that, like different parents are different. Like not every parent is gonna be educated enough
Yeah.
to teach him like, oh, history day. All right, we're gonna go to New York Metropolitan.
Yeah.
They understand
Yeah.
our history and past. Not every parent has like the same knowledge of life. Some people are like from third
Yeah.
world country. They gotta go work. Talk about I gotta teach this kid homeschool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach him how to cook. Like I think if I was at home, my mom and my
Yeah.
dad teaching me, I'll probably be crazier than what I am, and I'm
Do,
crazy.
do you think? I have a question.
Crazy.
I'm crazy.
Did someone teach you how to cook, or you learn by watching?
Nah, my
you
dad
asking me?
teaches me.
You learn by doing.
Yeah, doing it. I don't ever remember
Yeah.
something like this. How you turn the stove on, or this.
Nah,
feel
my,
like you
mom,
just
my mom
walk-
had to show me.
My dad
Yeah?
told me,
I remember
"Come
the
here."
first thing my mom showed me how to make was eggs and pancakes.
That's tough.
'cause
That's
I-
cool though.
Maybe
I was
someone
like,
did, I
I
don't
still
remember.
don't
It's
make
simple.
pancakes.
Pancakes
just-
might have been one of my.
You have
first,
to add water. The pancakes is water, butter, and then the eggs is just the butter, oil, whatever's
Yeah.
in there. You
Oh,
crack the
no.
egg.
I know
remember
I-
just being like, "This is
I-
lit."
Yeah,
Like,
It's
pancakes
easier
whenever I
said than
want.
done.
I mean,
It's easier
pancakes
said
all the
than
time
done.
now.
I can have a pancake whenever.
I can't make no pancake. I
What, now,
think if I go make
My
a
pancake
pancake,
slab.
I'm gonna make some raw pancake. I'm gonna take a bite. Send me to the hospital.
I ain't gonna front.
Like,
If somebody want to cook for me, I think that's what I'll judge you off of. Like,
You pancake.
show me your pancakes and eggs, and then I'll tell you if you could cook.
Listen, I don't even eat eggs, but I'll make the best eggs. No cap. My scrambled eggs is next level. I remember back in the day.
Nah, Chris made some good ass fucking
I have one
pasta,
question.
avocado toast. That soup he just made.
Yeah,
that
I'm
shit was
like,
pretty
That
good.
soup was good.
Yeah.
And I don't really randomly just eat anything. That was high.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was good
high. I have one question. When you talk to a girl and stuff like that, like you don't really just judge from the quick. But like, what's one thing that you do judge?
woman.
Yeah.
That was a out of the park question.
Yeah, I know. We always talk
Nah,
about
okay. Something
It's
I
crazy,
judge
like,
on women.
Like, what is that one thing? Like, I don't really judge, but if I see it, oh, girl.
I'll laugh. If you have a bad laugh, I can't. I can't. And not to be vain, but people tell me I'm funny, right? And I do think I can get people to laugh. So if I'm gonna be myself around you and you're gonna be laughing a lot and you have a bad laugh or like a wild ass laugh, I'm like, damn.
That's a good question. Me, I'm gonna be honest. I will be so honest.
Man.
Your toes, like your feet. If them shits is ugly, nah, I don't even know. I don't want to see your crib.
So you wouldn't date a dancer?
But Nilla, what if you bag her in the winter?
What happened?
What if you bag her in the winter? Her toes gonna be covered. You can't judge that.
Nah, but if I see them and they like,
You get to the
"Ooh,"
crib. You get to the crib and they like that. You out
like
of there.
whoa, your shits look like mine. That's a problem. Like I don't want to go to the crib. I don't want to see the future.
What if she was an athlete?
But I'm not talking about like it being messed up. I'm just taking like the maintenance of it.
Oh, like you don't. Okay.
I
Like,
dated
if
a
it's
girl
not-
that did ballet and she didn't even have bad feet, so there's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
I've seen dancers at Muhlenberg, bro, just from like it was a big dancing school.
I'm just maintenance. Just maintenance.
was-
Just if you need
the
to be
feet
clean. That's my
I
number.
think for
Just be
me,
clean. 'Cause
I don't
I'm
know.
messy.
I think it's a conversation to me. Like I don't know. You ever like the words you use? I can't explain it. But
I
you
feel
ever,
like if a girl's shallow, you're out of there.
that's what I'm saying. Like if
Yeah.
I'm having a conversation with you and it's like, all right, it's all like basic stuff. I gotta get out of here.
I don't know. That's one thing. Just
Jace?
clean maintenance. I got to see that. I feel like that's the number one thing that
Um,
girl is.
honestly, probably like a bad joke turned me off real quick. You know, just like a
He
corny
said a
joke that
bad
she's just like,
joke.
"Oh my god, isn't that so fun?" I'm just like, "Yeah, nah, I can't. I
Right.
can't go through these
It's-
type of stories right now
Just like,
because that's
what
just
the fuck?
objectively not funny." You know,
Does music matter?
What, their taste in music?
Nah,
Nah, because they
for me.
might turn you on to something that you.
What if
never
it's
really...
just like you guys just are not compatible musically? Like it's just
I'm
I don't
fine
know
with
if that matters.
Okay.
Well, it bothers some people.
Well, it
It
depends.
probably would bother me
And
a
no,
little
no, like if you go tell a girl I don't like
You
Bad
know-
Bunny, you're out of the picture.
Boom. I'm
You know,
gonna
give me hot-
set a scenario. I'm gonna set a scenario where it's an issue,
bit.
right?
Okay, hear me.
Right. You both have cars. You're both licensed drivers. But when you go out, you're the guy. You feel like you should do the whole lump sum of the driving, right?
Yeah.
Now you always go. You pick her up. You get in the car. But now you're in your car. You're doing your driving. You're driving your gas all the time.
Yeah.
The least you could do is listen to your own radio.
Yeah.
Now every time she gets in your car, she hits her playlist, and she never wants to hear your music. She's like, I don't want to hear that. Every time she get in the car,
Issue.
issue. You feel me?
Issue.
That's gonna be an issue because
maybe not 50-50, but like 70-30. You gonna let me play one. You gonna let me
I'm in
play
my
one.
who
car
who
and I'm
getting
doing all the
70?
The
driving.
girl, I'll give it to her.
Oh, okay, you a
'Cause
little bit
I
different.
don't really
I can't
listen to
front.
music.
I can't front.
I'll be tight.
Me and my Halette, bro. She gets tight when I play like Future and stuff, which is to me it's just outrageous.
Future's great.
But sometimes she likes this song, but like the certain song she like, come on, man. And sometimes we go back and forth about it a little bit. So I'm like, man, I'm just trying to enjoy. But then what I've learned now, I found a little cheat code how I could always play my music. She gonna hear this. I could always play my music. This is a little cheat code. But she could be happy, just play Drake. If you just play Drake, nobody complains. If you
Facts.
play Drake, nobody complains. It's perfect for women, perfect for men.
both
Everyone
sides.
likes everyone.
He's different.
It's just perfect.
He's different.
But once you start playing Future, and someone's I could boss up for a nut, then it's an issue.
Why you listen to this?
Word.
That's what I get. Why you listen to this?
Speaking of Future, that album,
Great album.
Yeah.
Chef's Kiss.
You know what album I'm on right now, and I still have a mixed feeling. I probably heard it one time.
Kendrick?
Hey, people keep telling us like, yeah, I'm a big Kendrick fan, but I need to listen to him. He got like one or two, but still, it's a little bit still
All right.
confusing.
I'm pulling up the album
I
right
need
now.
more time to
The-
digest it.
The,
fully, you know?
the internet tropes are fucking annoying because you're like, oh my god, this isn't even music anymore. He's making art. But right, I hate that. I hate that because it be niggas
this is
that
NFT.
it be niggas that don't even really understand this
Music
shit.
is art, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Niggas is crazy.
Any music is art. So like
Yeah.
you doing that, like you're just trying to make it seem like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a savant. I'm a connoisseur of fucking
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar. But at the same time, like I do like even the song that he has with Taylor Page where she's like he's arguing with his girl. That
was
song
alright.
is not a song you can just
Yeah.
fucking drive to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a song that you can really play out loud for other people. But in itself, I like the song
It's a-
because
it's a for
I
you
understand it's a
Why can't you drive to
it's
it?
a concept.
I drove to it.
'Cause
and
I-
That's what I'm
thought it
saying.
was
Why
good.
can't you drive
I
to
liked
it?
it.
Nigga,
It's
in the
not a
middle song,
driving
he's like,
song.
take this dick, and they're like having sex in the middle of the song. Like I'm not.
I mean, it's that song.
Nah,
I was gonna say,
I'll put it
what-
Drake.
Yeah, like
What got? I'm gonna say something about this album. What I liked about it was I thought the creativity on it was probably like the most creative album I've heard in a while.
mhm.
That's how I felt about it. Like
You like how it's broken
it
down.
was different beats. I liked how the whole thing told a story. Not kind of told a story. Kind of felt like you went to meditation with him. I mean, not meditation. Like you went to therapy with him. And different beats, different sounds, and then the song with Cage Purrs. The only song I've heard like that before is J. Cole's
J.
was it
Cole's
one
great.
with the one with the song he had
He's a
about having an
god.
abortion with the lady they were going back and forth about
The
it.
shit with Kill Edwards.
No. It's an old J. Cole song. It's one where he gets a girl pregnant and the girl's thinking about having an abortion and they're going back and forth. He tells it from three different perspectives. Was it one? The onliness? Something like that. Yeah. That song. And even though it hurts, that one. Someone
It's
let us know
crazy
the
'cause
song.
I kinda
Someone let us know the
it
name of
in
that
my head.
song.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
It's
go
not-
there.
Sometimes I cry.
cry-
Sometimes I cry. Sometimes about it.
It's
Fuck.
crazy.
Is it
'cause-
called Lost One?
Lost
Yes,
Ones.
Lost
It's called
Ones.
Lost Ones.
Yeah.
So it reminded me of Lost Ones. That song on the album.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I haven't heard something like this in a while. Like that someone did this, and the way they were going back and forth, bro, was so perfect. And the way they ended it is how I would expect it to end. Like,
Fucking.
yeah. I was like, wow. You know what I mean?
That shit is good.
And then I'm not farmer.
Yeah.
And United in Grief to N95. I was like, I was like, yeah. And then the story he told in, I really like. And then he threw Eckler on it.
Mhm.
I love Eckler, bro. The Power of Now. I've read that book twice already. When they threw my man's on, I was like, oh, that's tough. It's
Nah,
crazy.
I like it.
It's crazy. You got to be on Kendrick Lamar's caliber to get a session with him. No, that's tough though.
Word.
He's top 5. He's top 5.
Bro, the
lyricalist.
the fact that Kendrick is revered as like this like crazy visual, like he's like everyone's like, oh, either him and Cole's like the modern Tupac, you know? Like they put him in that bracket.
Yeah.
Like he's
tough.
our forward thinker, our music maker.
And he
Like,
made-
that's what he does for us, right?
Yeah.
And people view Kodak as like how Kodak is.
Kodak is
And he
nuts.
had Kodak host the album, basically.
Wow.
You feel me? And that to me is tough because I'm like, bro, this nigga is like a complete opposite of Kendrick. You feel me? He's not the worst rapper,
Well, you know
but not
that-
everybody loves him.
You know what I love though? Because like, you know how you would be like, he's the complete opposite of Kendrick. Kendrick was like, he said they want me to say Black Power, but I'm more Kodak Black.
Mhm.
So it's like, you see them as so different, but in Kendrick's head, he's like, nah,
So
we're more so
similar.
like one and the same.
Exactly.
That's, yeah.
But like
Project babies.
exactly like you said,
Yeah.
like the spectrum that they're on, like people view them differently.
Yeah.
So like they would this Kendrick be talking ignorant shit. You feel
Yeah.
me? Kendrick be popping that shit.
But he be talking
But
about shit too.
He's
It's like
saying a smart
sophisticated
way.
ignorance.
What?
But when Kodak does it, and he's like trying to speak through actual ignorance because he's lived in Florida his whole life and he talked about
He
like
really
in
does this
interviews
stuff.
and feel me,
Yeah.
educating himself. Like he have to go to jail to really educate himself.
Yeah.
So when he's trying to elevate himself on a higher plane, like he had a song called Malcolm XXX. That song is crazy. He's
Yeah.
talking about XXX and how he's like a martyr and like how people keep, you know, just taking away like all the talent in the generation, stuff like that. And like people didn't really respect his pen on that song like that. Like, it didn't-
Transgressions too.
exactly. Like it doesn't get the love that it's deserved when he tries to do that. But if Kendrick tries to do like some just dumb out shit, like they try to keep him in that box too. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like what Pacquiao said, he said they try to keep me in a box like I'm Pacquiao. Like
Mhm.
that is Kendrick taking the trope of the internet and like literally being like, nah, we one and the same. Like I could do ignorant shit, he could do sophisticated shit, and we're both trying to get the same message
Yeah.
across. And I like the fact that the album was broken down between like 9 songs and 9 songs.
Yeah.
And you can feel the intention behind the album.
Yeah.
So I think as far because I when it had first came out, I was like the first few songs I was like, I was all right. It was all right.
The first
Yeah,
one's got me hooked.
The first listens
The first one
because
didn't like me. I didn't like it.
it is good and I understand that it was a message being sent, but to me it was more of a conceptual album, right? When I
Yeah.
first listened to it,
Mhm.
which is fine. It's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. But I don't get music from Kendrick so much that I do want casual music that I can listen to on it. And you did get that within
I
the
see what you're
tape. You feel
saying.
me?
Yeah.
So it's like I was after the first 3 songs, I was worried. I'm like, damn, he's gonna be
Doing this the whole time.
yeah. You feel me?
There's
Like
a message. yeah.
everything's gonna be a message in the song. So I'm like, I want some shit where the same way how I was able to throw on like All Right or
His last
fucking
album, damn.
If Pyrus and
But
Crips
but
all
even,
got along.
but
you
even
feel me?
that
I
has a
could-
message. But All Right has a message in it too.
It does, but I'm saying the same way I could put that on and just vibe to it. Like I want to be. I was like, some of this music I want to be able to play over the summer, like at a barbecue, at a
I'm playing
kickback, whatever.
N85 in a.
So I enjoyed that. You
Yeah.
feel me? I enjoyed that. But like I said, it does take a couple days to digest and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But like that's as far as like art goes and music goes, like I think people don't do a good job at giving things time. Like
that'd agree.
Marinate.
I still didn't even listen to Roddy thing because I'm not over the fact that people said like that first album is a classic, bro. And I'm not ready to
That
listen
first
to an
album,
album
it
that
is,
he's
it's
not
up
that
there.
good on as he was in the first one. And I
Yeah.
watch everybody talk about it, and I don't want to listen to it with fucking
Mhm.
what is it?
Bias.
Yeah, a bias or whatever. Or
I
I
don't-
didn't want
I
to be
don't-
prejudiced to it.
I don't even
So,
get like I don't know what you would call the market.
Mhm.
Market. I don't know what they like. They would call Roddy Project trash, but then call you know, a famous deck album hot.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. So
Probably just number
Yeah.
wise, like how much money probably brings in. That's where I feel like it.
I don't
ain't
know
about
what
the
the
money.
I don't know what
But,
you guys like. You know,
I don't know, bro. That shit is weird.
that's why I think
But
as an
then
artist,
you even I put out a tweet like maybe like a month ago, and I was like that people make it so acceptable to do certain things online, and that other people just accept it too. You feel me? And like now they'll miss out on things that they'll actually like because like they're just trying to fit into a culture.
Yeah.
So I was like, they did it with Wale back in the day.
Yeah.
They did it with Cole for a little bit,
yeah,
and they're doing it now with Jack Harlow, and they did it with Big Sean.
Mhm.
Whereas like you're trying to make it seem like there's some corny rappers like, oh, like
They're not. They're all
the-
talented.
all
Even
of them are
Wale's
good rappers. So it's
underrated.
like I watch all the jokes fucking people make it. Oh, Jack Harlow's not all that, all of this, and I really listen to that. I'm like, this is a good album.
Yeah.
And if you're trying your hardest to listen, if you listen to the album once and just turned it off, then you didn't give this shit a shot. I had to listen to Indicud like 4 or 5 times for me to say that I like Kid Cudi and I don't like that album.
Mm.
Like I had to listen to that shit that many times to decide that for myself that I didn't like the album.
Mm.
But I didn't go like, oh, everybody else said Kid Cudi made an indie album, so like I shouldn't like this too. Like, nah, I'm gonna listen to it, and if I deadass can't get jiggy with it, then I can't get jiggy with it. But like, there's no way you're listening to some of those songs on a thing, and you're like, oh, he raps the same in every song. He does this, he does that.
But it's
But
crazy.
that just became the popular internet opinion, and everybody else just
But this is crazy because, say Elon Musk said like, I don't know, the percentage came out of how much of Twitter was bots.
Mhm.
What? Let's say a large percentage of it is bots, and like when you see all those opinions happening, it's just bots doing that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like maybe someone ran a campaign to intentionally make the Jack Harlow album seem trash, or ran a campaign to make Doja album seem hot. Like, what if people are actually doing that? You know, behind the scenes on Twitter and other, platforms. It's like, yo, what's real and what's fake at that point?
yeah.
Because especially if you're the type of person who can't like make an independent decision. I know a lot of people like to assume they can, even though they don't really. They don't know how to. Like, if you learn how to make independent decisions, like live on your own and like really come to conclusions on your own, then you'll be able to see, oh, this is good. I like this. I don't like this. I don't like that. But if you just go on Twitter and you like go on social media and that's what you take in to find out how you feel about something, then, and I think it happens. I don't think people do it like intentionally. They're like, I'm going to go on Twitter to find out how I feel about something. I feel like it's happening to them and they don't realize it's happening.
I should just go like it's such a trash way of thinking.
Yeah.
And to me, you shouldn't even really spew like your point of views of like I watched Top Boy recently for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it all those years because everybody's fucking beasting the show. And I hate watching shows if I can like refrain from watching it when everyone else is watching it. So I don't have to fucking log on to the internet and see some like even with that show, I knew a couple key deaths and shit in that show before watching because I seen it on Twitter like happen in live time. And I was like, oh, if I was watching the show, I'd have been pissed off to see this like in 6 o'clock in the morning. And the show, you feel me? Like I didn't get to see the shit yet. So I should have been mad annoying. But I watched that and I gave like you a review on Twitter, whatever, like my opinion of it. I was like, it was like all in all a good show. I do think like the second season, it was like some like lazy writing in it. Because I feel like every show feels like
similar.
For a good show to happen, they need to kill off, and I never understood this, a key character.
Yes.
And it's like you didn't complete his
them.
you didn't complete their story arc. You spent all this time building them up, and you just wanted your finale to have someone die at the end to leave a cliffhanger for the next season. That's trash. You don't have to do that. Everybody does that. Do something else. But I'm not gonna get too much
But it's
into
a
it.
psychology.
But
well, that's because what makes a story interesting is stakes. So now death is like the ultimate stake to present to someone. But I do think you're right in the way it's lazy writing, where that's not the only high stakes situation you can have.
yeah.
You cannot make it like something that's like relevant to someone's storyline, story arc. That is something other than death. I think.
When was like I forgot what I was
just like
telling you
the
about. When was the last time like someone in Hollywood did something like truly
Original.
creative and out of the ordinary? Instead of having to have a high stake to make something last,
I
how
have
about
I have a movie that I
What?
think, but let me finish this thought before I lose it. So, right, I wrote that review on Twitter. We saw Morbius like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whatever, like
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
you said it was terrible?
We both thought it was terrible,
You told me not to go watch
right?
it.
You feel me? I told you, I was like, I wouldn't go watch. That's just trash, right? I didn't go out on Twitter. I didn't fucking like spend all my time rationing this movie and trying to get all moviegoers to not go and see this movie.
Yeah.
People will deadass take that approach to something when they don't like it. Almar saw Morbius the other day. He loved it. He said in his opinion, that show was better than Batman.
Okay.
He's tripping in my opinion, but at the same time, he's granted to have his own feelings towards something. You feel me? But it's like the people that go online, they have to beat it into other people's. Jack Harlow's album is not good. This person is not good. How could you like J. Cole? He only talks about this. How could nigga? Then it's not for you, bro.
It's just a
Like
comment. People just gotta
you
see.
don't like it. That don't mean other people can't
That's
like
like-
it. Like
Bro, it's we were talking before about like cancel culture. Like a lot of people are scared to give their opinions because like you'll give your opinion and it'll offend one person, And then now that you offended that one person, he like takes it as his duty, or she takes it as the duty. He's like, now I gotta end their life.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go. Now I gotta go find their tweet from 2012.
And they're gonna find it. Yo, bro, they find.
Not
I
gonna
don't
end
know
their
what's
life.
going on
So
social
now,
media.
now all their life is done. They offended me.
Yeah, bro.
People sit down like and they'll go back I have 100,000 tweets on Twitter. I think if I ever become famous one day in the world, somebody gonna go back to like my 2010 picture.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
look at him. He had rap jeans on.
Is that blackface?
Like, yo, they gonna say
No, he's Dominican.
bro, they fight everything. Bro, they fight everything. Like, I don't even know how.
No, that shit's bad, bro. That cancel culture shit is bad.
Bro, it's really bad. You know what's even worse? So I was on
Watch Atlanta. I hate a lot of you.
What?
You gotta watch Atlanta, bro. You have to.
You know-
a lot of you.
You know what's even
They have a cancel culture episode. That
bro,
shit's
you know
really
what's
good.
even worse though? Is how like people are so obsessed with trying to get people canceled that they'll make like deep fakes.
Mm.
It's like, yo, how bad do you have to hate somebody
Uh-huh.
to make a deep fake tweet?
Don't
That they
those shits
said?
cost money? Oh, I thought you meant like a picture.
Even like anything that you're doing.
Those shits cost a lot of money to get them shits like rendered, right?
Yeah, deepfake.
Why would you spend money to ruin someone else? Possibly.
That's
Imagine
what-
it's like I put $2,000
Bro.
down, it didn't stick.
Like, I was like,
They're
people.
bored.
A lot of people don't like Jordan Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Right? So he said like a lot of people don't like him. So I
I,
was like,
I listened to an interview with him. I think he's cool,
Mhm.
but I'm like, I feel like the name's Pixie. He has like no emotions.
Pixie, really got a lot of emotions. That
No,
nigga
no, like I know
always
he
crying
has.
and shit.
Like he talked to. He was like that. Like the lady asked him, like, "When was the last time he cried?" And he was like breaking it down.
Yeah.
Like how he's experienced like a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And sometimes he feels like he's letting people down and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like even when he was saying it, he was just like, I have a lot of emotions. And like he didn't. Like damn, bro. Like he's just like
Yeah.
really.
Oh yes, I have plenty of emotions.
Yeah.
I can't make his voice. Man. He's got like kind
His
of a
voice is
high pitched voice.
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
little
his voice
bit.
is like.
I sounded like Elmo just now.
Yeah.
He sounds like that.
Yeah.
But continue, guys. Sorry.
Now, but yeah, so people on Twitter like don't like him. Cool. So someone like made a tweet of his and like put it on top of like a magazine cover and it was like him saying like this isn't beautiful. And I'm like, first off, like I know I watched the guy. He would never say that. And I went and looked and like I'm looking through my
Yeah.
research. Like, did he actually say this? He didn't say it. I'm like, but you know, everyone on Twitter in the comments like they was going 30 on this man, flaming him like, oh, he's saying that's not beauty, but this is like putting pictures of him and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, you guys, all you whoever made this fake, right, is now causing all these people.
Wait, that wasn't real?
No,
Because I follow him on Twitter and I thought he tweeted that.
yeah, I was looking for, I couldn't find it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The
He deleted it.
I feel like he did say that. I feel like I definitely saw that tweet
Did
from
he?
him, but maybe I got
See
fooled
now,
too.
now it's
No,
Mandela
I didn't
effect.
know.
But this is
Half the population thinks it happened. Half the population thinks it
this is
didn't.
what we have now. Like this is an issue.
Because I was literally
'cause,
just scrolling through Twitter and I follow him, so like I
I was
if he
scrolling through
subtweeted something like it would.
Now I was
pop up.
scrolling through Twitter too. It was that, but
Yeah.
it was like it wasn't like him. It was like someone like retweet. Like I can't explain it. Like
Yeah.
you know how Twitter has like the screen. It's
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
People were tight about that cover
Yeah.
though for some reason.
but I was
That
going
shit
through and I'm
What
like,
was it? It was
It was just
It was
like,
like
a bigger girl that was on like Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
you know,
oh, okay.
and they were just like, what's wrong with it? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like why is she on there?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
you know,
I saw one good joke. Someone, a female comedian, tweeted. She was like, "Now this is a supper model."
Supermodel.
Instead of supermodel.
oh that's fucked up.
That's funny. That's pretty funny.
Come on, bro. That's pretty
funny.
good.
That's funny.
That's PC, but still
So-
funny.
But then in that, like I think the way our society is now is like, can we no longer appreciate like what's off limits? Is that off limits now?
What?
It's almost like if your opinion doesn't agree with the herd's opinion, then like the herd then has the power to say, okay, you're done.
Nah. Honestly, just don't agree with somebody. My best friend does that all the time. Muharrem lives to go against the grain. Mu was like
Yeah.
yesterday, he said some shit. He was like, what did we say? I'm trying to remember. It was something I think everyone would agree on. And he was like, nah. I was like, what?
Yeah, he doing people shit.
Ah, damn. I can't remember what it was. That shit happened last night too. Everybody looked at him like he was crazy.
He said the Justice League movie was fire once, I feel like. And I was like, nah, bro, you're bugging, yeah. I was like, that thing's objectively bad. He's like, nah, that's just fire.
Oh, it was the boxing match shit, right? And he said something about Floyd, and I was like, no one cares to watch these exhibition matches that he's doing, whatever. And he was like, nah, you're bugging. He's still out there like showing style. Like I'm like, but you're like a Floyd Mayweather fan.
Yeah.
Like if Jordan did his 3-peat, right, got all these fucking rings, right, and then he retired, and now he's like playing pickups at LA Fitness, right, and they're nationally televising it. I don't think anybody's gonna care that much. Like,
I'll tune in.
no, people gonna watch that shit and like, nah. But he was saying like he was like, nah, that's still like. I was like, no, bro. I was like, that's not like top. That's not top notch. Even though he's Floyd Mayweather, that's not top notch boxing anymore. If Tank is fighting the same night as that, Tank's fight is gonna get more views.
Of course.
He's like, nah. I'm like, all right, bro. Everybody there was like, yes, bro. We're gonna watch the actual fighter that counts for something over exhibition.
But Mayweather's getting paid more that night.
Floyd might get more global views.
I don't know about
no,
global.
but who saw Floyd just fought? No one watched it.
He's in Dubai.
He fought
Do we
yesterday.
know the numbers?
People in Dubai watching it.
fought
Yeah, that's what I'm
yesterday.
saying. Like, yo, globally, that might be doing numbers, man.
Yeah.
This is
He's
not
a
this did not
worldwide
protect your
sensation.
argument before about
What?
about when you don't agree with the sheep. You were trying to use Maherm as an example.
Nah,
But now everybody 50-50 on your comment.
he did a couple other things last night too, but he's notorious
He's
for
known
that.
for it.
He's known for it. Like
Yeah.
you'll be like, damn, it's hot out here. Move like, nah, it's muggy. Like everybody just said it's hot.
So like even like
Nah, it's muggy, but
so
it's
then
not
they-
hot. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what?
so like who's everyone that's been canceled by? They canceled J.K. Rowling, right?
Yeah.
What did she say? What was the exact?
She's not a
what-
huge
I don't
fan
know,
of
but
the
they canceled Tory
she's not a
Lanez.
huge fan of the trans.
But what did she say?
genders.
Did she say what she said? Well, did she say something disrespectful? I don't know what she said.
I feel like it might have
she
been.
said there's only witches and witches. That's it.
Can we look it up
Witches
and not
and
read it out
wizards.
loud? Can we look it up and bleep it out just so you could
I don't know what her original.
like people were mad at Dave Chappelle. We all know what he said.
Mhm.
I didn't find it disrespectful.
And it's comedy. It's comedy. That's his job.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm not
Tom.
mad at anybody for how they feel. I wasn't mad at Mel Gibson.
What he do?
He told Jesus, put a bleep over this.
Huh?
Put a bleep over this. He told his wife,
What's wrong with him?
bro,
Who said that?
Mel Gibson in that phone call when he was like cursing out his girl.
What's wrong with him?
But I'm like, bro, like that's how he
He's
feels.
feeling
You
like
can,
that.
you can just choose not to
Tell me
support him
what's
anymore.
What's a packet? What's a packet?
Yo,
Yo,
that's
A
different.
comedian said something about that. They said he wasn't even. They weren't even offended at the fact that he used a hard R. They said they were offended at the fact that he was like geeses and with their gaggles and
Yeah.
his herds and stuff. He was like, why are we in a pack? He's like, why couldn't you say group?
A school.
That's
a school. A school.
See, people.
Like that is nuts, bro. Like
Bro.
people are ignorant. People are gonna feel how they feel. Like, yes, you have the right to take their job away. Like it's
Yeah.
different. But people want like these people to be erased off the face of earth. Like,
But
If-
it's so crazy to me because I always refer back to like how America is supposed to be a Christian society
mm,
and a fundamental principle in Christianity is forgiveness, but society does not practice that at all.
You know what American
they want to
is?
stone people.
You know what American is? American is free. You do whatever you want. I think people out here are bugging. People are losing it out
Yeah,
here.
That is.
America right now is do whatever you want, just don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
You found what she did?
Yeah. Do you want to know about J.K. Rowling?
Was it crazy? As you read it to yourself, was it crazy?
No, it's crazy that there's like a whole like timeline breakdown of it. It's like actually very.
Oh, that's
People
just-
are in tune. They want
people
to
were
know.
super tight. Okay.
So on what was the date? June 6th, 2020.
Yep.
She retweeted
Retweet.
an op-ed piece that discussed people who menstruate. And
People who what?
people who
menstruate.
menstruate was the name of the article.
That's like period, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she
Yeah, that's a big
tweeted under
question,
the
'cause I
like,
didn't
you
know
know,
what that
her
meant.
comment was, I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wumbend, wumpund, woopud. And then she went on to discuss further, just went
Oh,
on
I
a
didn't
whole
even think
thing
of it like
about
that.
saying
Jesus.
like, you know, like she was upset that they didn't use the word woman. And
I feel like
Yeah.
people just make everything.
That was
so
the beginning of
dramatic.
it, and then it kind of spiraled.
So
into
did
a
she
whole other
keep
thing.
going?
I think she's like leaned into it
Should
now.
have shut up when she had the chance.
I
But-
don't know, bro. She's still
'Cause
good.
the
Yo.
but
She got
Fantastic Beasts just came out.
yeah, bro.
she getting paid.
J.K.
still, huh?
Rowling getting paid.
So, but see, that's interesting. I didn't realize the first article called women that people who
What?
menstruate. People who menstruate sounds very disrespectful.
Yeah, right. It
I'm
kinda
not
does.
a woman, so I can't speak for them. But
No, I
that
feel you. It
that
does.
phrase sounds disrespectful to me. Like
Is that all I am? You know.
women who people who menstruate. Imagine calling your mother
What?
that.
Look at you.
I still don't know what that means.
Yo, Asante
Maybe
is
she's-
nervous right now. This dude's walking on a high line. He feels like, God damn, you okay? No one's got a gun to you back here, all right, bud?
I was about to say some crazy
Asante
shit.
see the podcast.
What you saw, Jace? What
Asante
you just
just
saw
sees the podcast
was my.
flashing for
You just
that.
saw my inner battle. Yo. Oh my gosh.
Nah, people who menstruate. See, but my thing is like in society, could we find a place where we can have conversations without people getting offended?
No, it's internet.
Nah, yeah, it's okay. It's like
It's
people are always
internet.
gonna be offended by the things you
Yeah.
say, but
But it's so not. But okay,
No, you should be able to be offended,
Yeah,
but
but
just realize that you being offended doesn't equivalent to fucking someone else not being able to live their lives.
Yeah.
You're just offended.
just because you're offended doesn't mean I should lose everything I have. Especially if like for people who aren't being disrespectful.
Let me ask you this: How many? Jace
even
again.
if you are being disrespectful,
Jace again. Jace
It's like,
again.
it's
Bleep
fine, like,
this.
you
Okay.
have-
How many packs boycotted Daddy's Home because Mel Gibson was in it, and every other movie he was in after he said that.
We don't because we probably wasn't watching the movie in the first place.
Exactly.
honestly.
So it's like, hey, if you decide
Yeah.
that you don't want this person to prevail, then don't support anything that they're involved with. But
You know.
you can't, like, now, right? Let's say I don't like Mel Gibson. Now I have to figure out who hired him for Daddy's Home. Who was the casting director? Now they're canceled. Now I have to figure out who did hair and makeup, because why would they even sit in front of that racist piece of crap and do his hair and makeup?
Mhm.
They're canceled. Now I have to figure out who pressed record on the button, because if I was the cameraman and I was sitting in front of that camera and they put that piece of garbage in front of me, I'm not pressing record. So they're canceled too. And now I have to figure out who edited the shit, because if they sent it to my editing company and I saw, like, it's too much,
and-
bro.
and
You
let me-
have to personally decide you don't want to support that person. And that's it.
What do you say?
It's just a lot. Like
It's a lot.
people just so dramatic. I just
And I have
mind your business.
a question. Is it and this time, is this coming from one political group? Like I know people always say liberals do this. Is it all liberals that are doing this stuff?
no, it just I feel like it was definitely conservatives when we were young.
Who started
you
the
know?
cancel?
Yeah, they get all upset like South Park. How dare you make that episode about Jesus? You know what I'm saying? They're like, we want this show taken off air. I feel like they kind of right.
Okay.
No, I feel like when I was young, it was like definitely
I remember
conservative Christian people. Like you thought of as being the ones that are going to be like, oh, that book shouldn't be allowed. That TV
Who
show
is it?
shouldn't be
So who
allowed.
is
Yeah,
it?
because I remember even the episode of South Park where they're gonna depict the Prophet Muhammad, and there was like a really big issue with that.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not supposed to do that. So
Uh-huh.
I was like,
Did they do it?
I don't know what they did. I don't remember. I don't want to lie.
No, they didn't do the original thing. They did something else. I feel like they just like blocked him out, like the whole episode.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they made a joke of it.
Yeah, they put like a censor thing over him.
Yeah, something like that.
I
yeah.
think I do remember that.
They probably like, okay, that's fine.
Yo,
Yeah.
dude.
But
people
this
don't-
certain
people
thing,
don't fuck with
like,
that shit,
all right,
yeah. They follow that rule.
Why isn't it the same way how, right? I shouldn't go into a PG movie and be in there like, what the fuck? There's no cursing in here. Like it's sectioned off for PG, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I shouldn't go to a rated R movie and be upset that they're fucking killing people in the movie because it's a rated R
It's
movie. right?
moralism, bro.
So you should understand, right? Within the realm of comedy, within like sketch writing and shit like
Mhm.
that, people are grounded to say whatever they
But they
want.
don't. But
right?
it's not viewed that way. 'cause
If you're
it's
offended,
moralism.
don't watch it.
It's not even about, but to the way they're viewing it, it's not about being offended because it's moral. It's if you don't agree with these certain principles, then you are a bad person. It's not about
Everybody
like
has
I'm
a
offended.
different bad
It's like
person.
no, if you don't agree with this or if you say this, then you end up in the you're a bad person category. So if you did like because good people feel this way, and if you don't agree with me, you're not a good person. Now you're a bad person,
yeah.
If,
and that's how they think.
if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
If you went up to a person, right, who's, let's call him a good person,
Yeah.
right? And they was like, do you like racist people? And they said no.
Yeah.
which is fine.
Okay.
Like, I don't like anybody else like me.
Yeah.
That's a fine answer. Now, if they said, do you think all racist people should no longer be living? Right? And they say, yes, kill them all.
You're a bad person.
They now switch the roles, don't they?
You just
Yeah.
became
Because
that
now
person.
you hate all these people
Uh-huh.
for not believing in, or
But-
for believing in something, which
Yeah.
is believing in against what you believe.
But
Right?
moralism doesn't work that way. Moralism logic in it is this. Oh no, if we rid the earth of all bad people, now there's just good people. I'm not a bad person for getting rid of bad people.
I've had that conversation with people. I feel like I'll ask them like, all right, so what's the solution to racism? Then if you're saying it's like the worst thing in the
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah,
What do you
it's
do? You
like
just like kind of like put them all in a tournament camp, make sure they don't like, procreate, and just like, all right, you guys, how do you decide who's racist?
Now they
What is
become the
what is the
oppressed.
bar
What's
for
it?
like racism?
Yeah.
Like the people that do
Is
get,
it-
you snap your fingers
And
and,
that's
you
why
get rid of.
and that's
It's
why
like,
Kendrick album is so special because
there's no solution.
he said
to
on
that
it, he
shit.
was like, he said, where the hypocrites at? Who are the ones who are the ones who feel like only their community is relevant? It's the same thing. Are racist people only people who are racist to your group, or is racist people anyone racist to any group?
Yeah, word.
I feel
Right?
like to any group.
You get rid of a lot of people.
But you would get rid of probably the world.
and the next black person that comes up to me,
exactly.
Hell yeah.
Everybody has their own judgment.
the next black person that comes up to me and starts with that whole black people can't be racist thing, I got an RKO rate.
Nah, it's
Right here.
true though. Some black people are racist too. Everybody's racist in a way.
They're like, oh, we're not the superior group. We can't be racist. I hate white people's guts. Like what?
That's some racist.
But
shit.
even like
And you're
now,
have
like
you
how
seen
you-
the NBA? Not a superior group, please.
NBA, dude.
Tune into that shit.
so is it at the same time, is it racist if you say my group is superior to all groups?
Not racist, but
Nah.
it's your opinion. That's your take.
But how's that not? If you're saying every
Because-
other group is inferior, that's racist.
All right, boom. This is what
He's not as
this is
good
what I
as
think,
mine.
right? If
Yeah.
you said right, just like
Yeah.
if you said my team is like my NBA team is good, right?
Yeah.
I think we're the best NBA team.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're anti other NBA teams.
Yeah.
But if you say my NBA team is good and the other NBA teams are animals, they just can't operate on the
That's
same
more
field.
racist.
Like it's like that's when you start like if you said fucking white, I think white people are great. I'm white, I think white people are great.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be mad at that. But if you said white people are greater than everyone else,
Yeah.
and you guys are subhumans, that's when you're like, all right,
You're bugging.
what are we
But,
doing now?
but if
no one's
if
gonna be mad at you for rooting for
but
yourself.
if we say a
I mean,
moral,
white people are great. It's kind of suspect.
no, but aside,
He's like, wait, whoa. What kind of what road we going down in this conversation,
Yo,
buddy?
White and
Where are
great,
you leading me?
Asante, though, but if
white
you-
and great shouldn't be in the
if
sense.
the-
That,
code, right? If the moral code
that
is
was racist. Cut that out, James. Cut that
if all people, what are you cutting out?
I just said some dumb shit. Go ahead.
Now I'm saying if you're gonna say the moral code, right, is all people are created equal
Mm.
under God, then there is no superiority, inferiority, because you said all people are created equal.
Mhm.
So you can't every time you deteriorate off of that, you're being racist.
I don't know. That's tough.
If that's what the moral code is, though.
Now,
But
right?
if you want to, you could drop that moral code though if you want.
What? Right? I get a PlayStation.
Mhm.
You get a PlayStation.
Mhm.
We buy from the same store. We come from the same manufacturer. Right?
Uh-huh.
I have my PlayStation for 10 years. You have your PlayStation for 10 years.
Mhm.
Now, the conditions in which you kept your PlayStation, the times you cleaned it, the amount of times you dropped it,
Yeah.
all those things start to matter, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm like, oh, our PlayStations were created equally, but mine's is better than you now because I took more care of it,
Yeah.
right? That's where I feel like that personal belief comes into play.
But
'cause
that's
it's like,
but that's different. So if you said all man was created under God equal, created under God equal.
mhm.
Now, what you choose to do with your life is not because of a race; it's because of your own
Personal decisions.
decisions.
Exactly.
So that's still on moral code. I'm not better than you because I'm white, black, or because I was
Because
born.
it's the same
I'm
system.
better than you because I've maybe, got 30 certificates, read 500 books, worked out
Mhm.
every single day, drank a lot of water.
I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie.
So-
then I might be racist because I think I'm better than everybody.
But look, that's the point I was making. With the
Yeah.
PlayStation is the fact that it's not the fact that your PlayStation is greater. You just took more care of your PlayStation.
Yeah.
So it's not the fact that your people or whoever you think you are is better.
Yeah.
You just took more care of yourself, right?
Mhm.
And you're in a better position than this person. But it's not due to the fact that I had a PlayStation X5 infinity and you had a regular model. Like, no, it's the same model. We both all humans. We're all created equal. But what I'm able to do with myself might be different than what you're able to do with yourself. And it has nothing to do with the fact that, I mean, there's other social standards, like once you start getting into race, but just for the base reasoning, right? Yeah. It's just the fact that we took care of things differently. Yeah. So if you feel that way, it's different to feel that way, but you shouldn't think you're great just because you're a race.
Humans and we should just love each other. Yeah. Like, keep the peace, man. Keep the peace. Yeah. I feel like we're so divided based on religion, based on our opinion, judgment. So much thing is what having us separate each other from understanding each other. Yeah. And that's why this world is so chaotic. It's so much chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
like I don't think people should really, like, I'm not gonna not like another person because of wherever they come from or whatever it is that they're
now, let me get to know you.
Right?
Like, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
Exactly.
But if you're cool, you're cool. I don't care what gender. Yeah. What do you like? I don't care. LGBT. I don't care. Just
people gotta stop
who you are.
People have to stop getting offended. Like, it's like not ever like you can't be offended. It's tough, but you can't be offended by everything. Like, you have to, because then you can't have. If you're offended by everything, then you can't have a conversation. Yeah. Because someone, if Asante's talking to me, right, and the whole time he's thinking, okay, I know if I say the wrong thing, Christian's gonna get upset and Christian's gonna get mad at me. Then Asante can never tell me how he really feels or what he really thinks. Yeah. But if he knows, yo, I can tell Christian whatever I feel, and if I say something that's wrong or that Christian disagrees with, then we'll talk around, we'll talk about it, and we'll come to a conclusion. Mm-hmm. But if the whole time Asante's just like, I can't talk to Christian at all because he's gonna go cry about it, then we can never find out the truth and we can never work it out and we can never come to a conclusion. Exactly. We can never make each other feel comfortable. But right now in society, we don't allow those open conversations to have, because you say one wrong thing, you got a Twitter mob coming at you. You say one wrong thing, people are trying to cancel you.
And it's idiotic because it's like the solution to it is not to silence those people, because those feelings and viewpoints don't go anywhere. They still exist. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wouldn't you rather know someone? Like, wouldn't you rather see someone's cards rather than not see? You know?
That shit is funny because, like, damn, Chris, I really wish you saw the episode. Like, in the fucking shit with Atlanta, right? There was like a club he was in. It was like a cancel club, right? Mm-hmm. Bunch of people walking around. They're all canceled people. If you suppress enough people and you said like those thoughts and ideas don't go anywhere, you're just creating an underbelly.
A subgroup.
Yes.
Yeah. You just create a subgroup.
Like the mole people. They're just going to pop up out the ground one day and say, we're the canceled.
Yeah, and they're radical.
That's how Gotham. The next season, you're going to start setting up the Jokers.
You're trying to create Gotham. That's what you're trying to do. Is like, no, like if you feel like whatever a person truly thinks is like harmful, like there's also a difference between having a difference of opinion and your opinion or whatever it is that you believe being harmful to other people, right? Yeah. If you believe in stereotypes, if you believe in certain agendas and stuff like that, that can be harmful or detrimental to other people, which isn't okay. But if I just think like, oh, like a stereotype, or if I thought one thing and it's like, all right, no, like I can change your point of view by having a conversation because you just might not know.
So is this harmful? So I know one thing people got really mad about Jordan Peterson about is Canada tried to pass a law that like it made it mandatory that you have to like call students by like whatever they wanted to be called by, and Jordan Peterson was against it. He's like, you're not gonna force me to call anybody anything. I'm gonna call them what they are. Like, I don't care. You can't force me to, right?
Yeah, no,
And people did not like that. He felt like it was taken away from his freedom of speech. He was just whatever.
He wasn't against calling people by whatever they wanted to be, but they tried to make it illegal, where you could be like jailed for mispronouncing someone. So, and that's where he was like, wait, well, that's crazy. He's like, I'll do it, but I shouldn't go to jail if I don't.
It's the same thing with names. If you said my name's Jason, I'm like, nah, you're Joe.
Yeah.
You're Joe, right? Yeah. And then some like the fucking people police follow this guy. That's it. Get him in cuffs.
What the fuck did you just call him, Joe?
So,
oh, my bad.
Is that
met a lot of people today?
Like, no, once you tell me your name is Jace, it's a respect that I'm gonna call you Jace. Yeah. Because you told me your name is Jace. Yeah. Like, man, you meet somebody named Chris and they're like, nah, I'm gonna call you. Like, bitch, what? My name Chris, nigga.
No,
it's like human beings on this small level, we can work that out socially.
We don't need the government.
Like, hold on, wait, the guys. All right, what's she, he, cool. All right, have your exchange now. It's like, no, we're good, we're fine. Yeah, we're just hanging out. We'll work this out.
he had a difference of opinion. People like attacked him for it.
Yeah.
Yes, but his opinion is not harming anyone in
Nah.
a sense, right?
That's his personal belief.
But he harmed people's feelings.
Yeah, that's a white collar crime now. You need to fucking go
I
to jail for that.
hurt their feelings, and now it's over for me. What? I probably
Listen,
hurt,
man.
bro. You can't. It's impossible to please everybody, right? That means there's always going to be a subgroup upset by what you said. So that logic doesn't make any sense.
It's yin and yang, bro. The same way you feel, right? If there was a group of 15 people, right, and they felt one way about something, and 600 people was like, those 15 people should be canceled because of what they believe. You're just on the side with the greater alliance. But if you were on the side of the 15 people and y'all truly believe what y'all believe, y'all can be like, those 600 people should be canceled for what they believe. But both sides view each other the same way. So you have to find a middle ground, and then there's certain things that just like aren't non-negotiable.
Yeah.
That just might be a part of human nature, and you just fucking work your way through it. But as far as like ignorance comes, like no, like if you felt one way about a certain people because of something you've seen somewhere or something that was expressed to you, and you never personally experienced the people, then that's the fucking difference in it. Like, why would I meet a Spanish person, right, and be like, oh, like, I don't know if he's gonna know English. When it's like, bro, there's people grow up on Spanish speaking islands and they speak Spanish and English their whole life.
Yeah.
So it's like that's something that you see on TV, or that's something that you see where, you feel me, you believe that from somewhere else. But if you never personally met a Spanish person, you shouldn't think that. Like, or if you do think that, you should be able to learn that whatever you thought is wrong. People don't want to be
Exactly,
wrong.
You can assume it, but don't opinionate on it so quickly.
Yeah.
And if someone believes that and it gets exposed that they do believe that, we as society shouldn't cancel them for believing it. We should just help them, educate them, and move on.
Yeah.
It's not like if the person starts doubling down, and they double down like for 30 years straight, and like, nah, I'm not changing. Y'all the ones bugging. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Then you still don't gotta cancel. You don't gotta make sure his
Just don't
family-
pay attention to him.
Just don't mind his business. Yeah, like
have you seen that meme where it's like a cartoon, like it's like a fucking four pictures.
Yeah.
The one picture is like a group of people standing, right, and the next picture is like one person walks up to the group, and there's like a talking bubble, and the talking bubble, like, people put in like whatever, like one of them I saw, like, talking bubble. It was like oh, like people think Michael Jackson music's so good, like, nah, like such and such was better than him, and like all the people turn to him and they look at him and then they just keep talking. Like no one even acknowledged what he said. Like he just said some ridiculous shit. Like, of course no one cares, bro. Like you're over there yelling, make what great again? Okay, whatever. No one cares. Like you don't you can choose what you put your energy towards, and I feel like people choose to like get online and like if you
Focus
say
on the
something,
negative.
if you say something as dumb as like, oh, like one day you're gonna walk outside and that ground that's out front, it's gonna become water. I promise you. Like there's a prophecy about it. I'm gonna hear the premise of that conversation. I'm like, this guy doesn't need any of my convincing. You sound pretty solid in that argument, bud. You got it.
Yeah.
I hope I don't. You feel me? Like I hope I have a floaty on that day.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna sit there and argue with you because you just understand that like the premise of the argument already doesn't make sense. So if you're able to believe that, yeah, shit ain't clicking up there. You feel me? So
Or you know something I don't know.
even I'm good, bro. We don't have to do the back and forth. Like you could just have a difference of opinions, and
I don't
that just
argue
be
with
it.
people.
You know, argue with people.
I get too mad.
It's-
You win, I lose. Like whatever.
It's too much work,
And
bro.
it's too much work. Like I don't want to argue. I don't like to argue. I don't want to talk about it. You win. You're right. I'm sorry.
I don't like arguing, but I enjoy a good debate.
Yeah.
You know,
I get frustrated. Like, nah, I
Yeah.
got it. Because you know what it is? Then I start really like, no, because you'll go from like going from mediators to nah, now you tripping now. Now is what I say. And
No, like fuck out of here.
yeah, it's like it's a habit I have to break, but that's just one of them.
How much time we at?
118.
Nice.
I think we good to wrap.
We hour 18 straight, no breaks.
Facts.
I'm just here talking.
Yeah, we just there talking that talk, man. We ain't been in here in a couple weeks. Once again, next week, these guys are out of office. I'll be doing something next week. I don't know. I'm gonna try to make sure I put out something next week so we got some some nice little bonus content for you guys.
I just want to try to know. I think the fans should hear this. So me and Jace are both going away, right? So I said I was going away first.
Oh my God.
Asante was like, "Yo, take the GoPro and record yourself." Jace was like, "Yeah, I'm going away too." So, "Oh yeah, you should take the camera, my nigga, definitely, yo, bro, because you gonna be dumb nice with the camera."
Tone is everything. Tone is everything.
He added so much to that, bro. Yeah,
And I was like, "That's crazy." So
I think it's
get
safe to say he added some extra sauce.
So
to
I was
that.
like, so that's
Shameless plug.
crazy. I get the GoPro and Jace get the camera. He goes, "Yeah, of course. He the tech guy. What you want? You got of here."
All right, first off, Chris, we have two cameras. We have the camera that we're currently recording on now. Hello, hi people. And then we have the GoPro,
You
right?
got the DJI.
I'm not gonna opt for Chris to take that to where he's going. I don't know if he wants to say his destination on camera, but I'm not gonna tell him to take that.
I'm happy I get to hear this.
You feel me? So I said take the GoPro. Now Jay said he's going somewhere, which is a lot shorter distance. And who has the camera? If this camera is right, we're three parents. This camera is our child. Who has the child the lump sum of the time?
I want you guys to hear this.
Who has
I want you guys to
who
hear
has
this.
the child? Who knows
I'm
their eating
happy-
habits?
I'm
Jace,
happy.
when did this camera go to sleep?
I'm happy.
You know
I'm happy. Our happy everyone gets to see this. I'm happy.
why?
It just needs to be out there. How am I treated? The treating conditions at DGC. We need a new HR department.
He's the boy who cries wolf. When this camera goes off, I'll give you something to cry about. If you
That's
see Chris,
HR.
if you see Chris with a black eye next episode, you know why. Nah, but he's
that a
Chris is
threat?
lying. Chris is lying.
Is that a threat?
Oh no.
I could legally sue him now from that.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm a
Can I?
bag. I'm a bag
You mean
chaser.
I can get
so.
sued for that.
You can sue for that?
I think so, right? I'm a bag chaser. So.
Look at you, cancel culture.
Power.
Just talking all that shit. Talking all that shit. Nah, but take whatever camera you want, Chris. Okay. But I just know if you take that camera, that shit's gonna sit in a bag. If you take if you take a GoPro, you might be able to pop the GoPro out your pocket.
I'm trying to.
Take a little-
I'm trying to go in. Oh yeah, I can't tell my location.
Yeah,
Never mind. I'll tell you guys after.
I'll tell you after. But yeah, I'm gonna look to do something next week, some fun, so I get some content out. But as far as this episode goes, this was a good conversation.
He
Nilo,
was here, man. We talked it up, man.
it's not gonna be his first time here, man. He gonna
His
Think
last
it's the
time.
last time? It's definitely his first time.
Got him.
Don't worry, because I was gonna keep going. They didn't say nothing. We here.
I had him.
real ones last forever.
I
They
had
catch
him.
everything. I wasn't catching that.
This is not going to be the last time you see him.
Asante's coming off a Doctor Strange movie, so I think you're a
Yeah.
little fucked up with the multiverse.
We go from
yeah.
there.
You just saw
You know
it?
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm sorry, huh?
You just saw it?
I
No.
just saw it for the second time again.
Wow.
Tough.
Did you catch anything new?
Yeah,
Really?
that movie hard.
Oh yeah?
That movie hard. I might have
It's a
to
good
start
movie.
doing like Marvel breakdowns, bro. For me, throwing that content up there into the clouds.
Start doing it.
I
Breakdown.
love Marvel.
Yeah, bro. I love
I'm
that
not a
shit.
big fan.
My boy Max would love to break you. Max,
Bad
let it-
Bunny's gonna be the first Latino.
El Fuerte.
He's different.
You
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
the first what?
He's like the
First
first,
Latino superhero.
like superhero.
He's acting
Nah, no,
Now
he's
he
not.
is. Yeah.
First Latino?
in Marvel.
How?
You know who Bad Bunny is to the community?
But how's he the first one?
I don't
How-
think there's a
Who-
main
who's before
character.
him?
Salma Hayek.
I don't even know who that is.
The
That's
girl,
tough.
the girl from the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, she's Spanish.
Boom.
But in the Marvel, that's Marvel.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's like
She's-
Batman, Spider-Man
Nah,
type.
she wasn't the main character.
Yeah,
she
but
was-
Wolverine. The girl in the Wolverine
She
movie?
even came from a different like universe, and as you see, like the universe, there wasn't like Spanish culture.
wait,
They were
Bad
in like
Bunny's
these Star
gonna be a
Trek
Marvel?
suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Marvel superhero.
Like
Yeah.
a super.
He
he's-
can act that well.
I mean,
Wow.
no, probably not.
Money speaks.
He's in Bullet Train too with Brad Pitt.
Was he good in that movie?
It didn't come out yet. I
Bad
just I
Bunny
saw him
can
in the trailer.
Is he the most talented man in the world right now?
I don't know.
He's the most
he
loved.
gets into a bag though.
Yeah.
I'd like to spend a week with him.
You know what the craziest
cap.
thing that
See-
I acknowledged today?
The amount of movements he probably making a week is crazy.
Yeah. I thought about it. I was like, yo, he just came from a concert of tour, like for like a whole 3-4 months. Oh, I'm done. All right, next week, drop the album. Like, yo, he dropped the album after he did a concert of all his old music.
That man. is
Now
on a-
people's gonna go again for another concert for the new album. Like,
he's
yo,
on he's on a different type of bag. chase.
I told my boy, I was like, yo, he gotta be a billionaire.
That's smart.
And he went on Google. I went on Google. On Google, only 15 million. I said, nah, man. He got
That's-
something
that-
under the table.
That shit ain't never right.
Them networks be off.
Who's getting
Yeah.
those? Who's getting those royalties? I hope if he owns his masters,
You think he does?
I hope he does. I pray he does.
Cause yo, I think there's some voodoo in his music. Cause
If he-
people will kill, like girls
I
will
think-
kill.
I think him.
You don't like Bad Bunny? Goodbye.
Like I've always like I've always known like of Spanish artists and stuff, and like who's the big artist at the time, right? And I think he's the biggest climb I've seen from like start.
That boy,
to-
Yes.
he's going
Like,
crazy.
It was so quick, bro.
Crazy.
It was quick.
He's going crazy.
Illuminati. Illuminati.
Bro, Daddy Yankee said, I'm so happy that Bad Bunny came later because he would have came first. There'd be no room for none of us.
Bro, that shit is for
Absolutely.
real, bro.
Because who's gonna top him? Nobody. He
That's insane.
The women.
doubt it.
No,
Sorry.
you said who's gonna top him? I said the women.
Oh.
Hey yo, this has been another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Whether you stop listening after 15 seconds, whether you made it to this point, we appreciate you for even giving us a chance. Once again, we appreciate you guys, rocking with us. You guys been showing love on YouTube, like I said before. We getting back more into our audio. We sitting down and stuff, but we are gonna be more mobile this summer. So definitely, go on the page, go on Instagram, look on our link tree, look for all our profiles and stuff, because it's not always just gonna be an audio form of content. We got some videos and some more short form stuff coming. So definitely don't want you guys to think that we're not doing anything. Just because you don't see, your podcast notification, we're definitely still dropping stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. Nilo, appreciate you for coming.
Nilo hit him with
Thank
some
you
Spanish.
for having me here. Bad Bunny, that's the Spanish.
Bad Bunny.
No, pero una bendición. In English, as a blessing, Thank you for letting me be here, talk some ish, good, bad, crazy. I hope somebody gets something positive. Somebody enjoy the conversation, just something, And hopefully I'll be back here again with more talk. We'll be talking up more and just everybody know Golden State Warriors winning it all. Golden boy. Golden State, you feel me? Tough.
I don't know, man. I don't know. They definitely going to the finals.
Are they about to sweep the Mavs?
No, they're not sweeping the Mavs.
Yes.
I
Maybe.
think they gotta win the series. I don't think they sweep the Mavs.
They're just better than them.
Flat out. They might sweep them.
That comeback they allowed the other day was crazy.
Who, the Mavs?
26,
No,
27.
Yeah, the Mavs allowed a comeback.
So that means they might
they
get
were up
sweep.
by how much?
30?
Yeah,
And they lost?
Yeah,
By how much?
like 7.
7. Yeah. And Luca had like 40-something points. Just
So-
tweet him.
There was nothing. they
Yeah,
could
he
do.
won all.
He went off and they still lost.
Yeah, I watched that game.
That's just crazy.
They
They
came
need
back down.
Porzingis
They
back.
came back down 30.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But this
people.
Warriors is different.
Or we've
ah.
signed off twice. Or
Yeah, we ended episode twice.
Ah.
Follow everybody on his social medias at Nilo Gone Wild.
Love, people, love.
At
man.
cb.lopez. Follow at J Squay. Over there looking like the coolest man in the world.
Don't worry, got the shades on.
AKA Mo.
yes, sir.
Yes,
If you know, you
sir.
know, man. If you know, you know.
Hasta la vista, como se dice.
Follow us on our platforms at the DGC _ on Twitter, at the Demigod Chronicles _ on Instagram, and at YouTube, just Mastered Studios. And follow me at _ Demigod _ and at MSTRD _ Studios, spelled with a V.
That's a lot of underscore.
Yeah, I know. People be on it, man. You gotta make sure your shit is
Certified.
is 101. But we out of here. Till next time.
Holla, man. Love.
Bow.